Hi guys, thank you so much for being here. My name is Carly Van Every. Today I am going to talk about conscious creation, conscious manifestation, setting your vibrational tone, being a vibrational hostess to that which you want, aligning yourself to that, anything and all. Actually going to be talking about something that I've been personally doing in my life that has really helped me with my most recent conscious manifestations and creations, and I just want to share this because honestly I'm super passionate about this, and I think it's so cool that like all of us get to share and jam on this. You know, we have fantastic teachers like Dr. Joe Dispenza, Sammy Ingram, Abraham Hicks, all of them, and there's only more and more. Law of assumption, law of attraction, all these wonderful manifestation coaches, and I'm like, hey, I just want to get in and play on this too. This feels good. And yeah, I'm just gonna kind of break it down, like how I've been acclimating my belief systems, raising the energy of them so that I'm able to align with exactly what I want so it can manifest fully. I want to start though today by this very cool deck of cards by Heroic Humans. You can check them out at heroichumans.com. It's called Cool to Connect, and they're basically just like these really cool connection cards. So I'm going to pull one for us and then leave it in the comments below your answer to this card. Let's go. So what are you settling for right now? I don't know if I would say like settling for, but I would say I'm definitely putting more of a focus on it. It's just like my inner peace, because I know how important that is in the creation process. And I also know how it interacts with the external world that I experience. So I'm really focused on my inner peace, my inner state. So leave it in the comments below. What are you settling for right now? Okay, let's go ahead and jump right in. Belief systems. I just want to really share with all of you what's honestly been really, really real for me and really working for me. I come from like an energy basis first. So I'm really into like metaphysics, and listening to Dr. Joe Dispenza is really, really cool too. I also did like a 4-year psychology program as well. So when he talks about neuroscience and epigenetics and neuropsychology, I'm like, yes, 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 yes. That makes so much sense with how epigenetics can actually read DNA within the body. I'm not really sure if that's like the full definition of it. Maybe I'll pop the definition here, but it makes sense. It makes so much sense. And I think just tying like the energy aspect to it too. It's interesting because for me personally, I honestly feel like for me, conscious manifestation has been very intuitive. I do see energy. I do, I connect with other beings of unconditional love and light. A lot of people know these as like Arcturians, as extraterrestrials. But we're all children of the Creator, is how I see it. We're all children. So we're all connected through the heart and through harmony and through love. And I don't know, I think this is just like super, the more it's like a party. I think like, yeah, I just remember like hearing in my own culture too, like growing up as like an indigenous woman, and just like as a child, like reading about like these different beings that have been passed on within like our cultural teachings too, really allowed me to like open up and flourish within this, and just like reconnect with that, and just say like, oh, like spirituality is actually chill, it's actually natural, it's actually like a vibe, like literally a vibration, but like a vibe. I don't know, I just think it's like so cool, and I'm so passionate about it. But for me, so I am a psychic intuitive, and when I do connect more often, like I would say like 80-90% of the time, I'm actually working with other beings that are from other dimensions or other planets, other star systems. I want to say within this universe, typically Arcturian, Sirian, Lyran, Andromedan. There's been other beings too, but I don't really have like the name for them right now. Another group that I've been working with has been I call them like the ancient ones. So they just have like a lot of knowledge to pass on and share with us, and it's super amazing. I just love it because it feels good, and it feels like it's literally all connecting for me. Like when I channel, it really comes through in my body and in my heart space. And I feel so much awe and so much love when these messages come through, and it resonates in such a way where it's like, it almost like makes me like shocked, like, oh my gosh, like this message is so beautiful, or oh my gosh, like it makes me want to cry because it's so beautiful. And it just comes from love. And so I'm just super appreciative because all of these wonderful, incredible beings have just shared with me in really, really loving, compassionate, kind, amazing ways of like, hey, you know, this is what this means, and hey, like this is how this connects to this. And then my guides too, like they've come to me in like very specific moments where it's just clicked for me, and it's like, oh, okay, like this is like what manifestation is, or like this is like a part of it too. So I want to share with you guys little pieces of that kind of streamlined through for me, that really helped me in the moment, and share that because I want all of you guys to get every single one of your heart's desires too, and to really struggle less and create more, and really like love yourself more, even in those moments where you may feel really bummed out, or you may feel like at the bottom of the pit, so to say, or you may lose hope or anything. I want you to really, like, even in those moments, sit there with yourself and say, like, this is okay. Like, I'm good. I'm good. And like, this is just a moment that in time too will pass, and it's going to be experienced, but I'm getting better and I know how to do this. Because I know, like, for me in my journey with that, it's just like the things that I have been shared with from these other beings and from my own life experience and what I'm seeing in terms of results. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I don't know, I might cry. I just like appreciate it. I think everyone deserves to have this knowledge. So how I've been seeing belief systems and how I've been actually working towards consciously manifesting things, I want to start off because I'm actually feeling called to. They're actually coming in right now and saying, like, can you just like share this piece about energy loops and stuff. So we all know, we've all heard that where you place your focus on is what grows. So you can see it as like if I were to draw like a little loop here of energy, pretend like you can actually see it. If I'm putting my focus on this, and say if it's like something that's complaining or something that's like negative, something that it's not pleasant to think about when you think it, but you're focusing on that, that actually gets bigger and it speeds up the more you think about it. That energy loop gets bigger and speeds up. However, and you can think of that as a state. And if you have a different state over here where it's a whole different set of like thoughts, it's a whole different set of feelings, that same energy loop, it might be something that like when you think about it, it actually feels good in your body to think about. It feels good in your mind to think about. You put your focus on that, it'll speed up, right? Okay, so basically with belief systems, how I've personally been working with them is like, when I think of something that I want, whatever it is that I'm trying to consciously manifest into my life fully, I will look at that thing now, and it's really, for me, what it's come down to is, what is my relationship like with this thing? So you can take money, and it's like, if I'm seeing money as like another being, pretend money is like another person in front of you. How is your relationship like with money? Pretend that well, you can do it for like romance, romantic life, boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other. How is your relationship like with this person? Doing it for your physical well-being. How is your relationship like with health? How is your relationship like with wealth? How is your relationship like with this new skateboard that you want to manifest? How is your relationship like with this new car that you want to manifest, with this new house? It's like, for me, I really do see it as like the relationship, and having that relationship feel good and raising your vibration to it, so that, you know, if you're sitting in a state of like feeling unease about it or discomfort about it, then you want to take that discomfort and vibrationally acclimate it, literally acclimate your belief about it to feeling in a state of contentment, to feeling in a state of hopefulness, to feeling in a state of even like optimal bliss, joy, happiness, positive expectation, trust, belief, knowingness. For me, what I've found personally is when I can hit that point of like knowingness before it comes in, that's it. Like I know that it's coming in. I've worked with this in terms of like getting it up to the feeling of trust, like literally just like I trust it. Like I know, like I've done the work. I know I've been doing this day in and day out. I know I've been focusing on it. I know I've been like feeling good while I focus on it. I know that I've been like tending to the garden in a way, right? Like I know like I've been doing like all the work and I trust it. You want it to feel like that same vibrational feeling. You want it to feel like you know you're putting in the work and you know that it's like going to take some time for it to actually like sprout. But you're putting in that work consistently, and every single time you turn to this thing, the thoughts that you're thinking, not only the thoughts, but the thoughts actually, and I love the way that Joe Dispenza says this, because you can think a thought, but if you're not, like if that thought's not connecting with the body to produce a feeling, there's no energetic momentum with that really. I mean, there probably is, but like it's just so much more eminent is the word I'm getting. It like emanates so much more. Another thing that I will say is that I woke up at 3 a.m. in the morning one night, and my higher self literally gave me this message. My higher self said, Carly, belief, when you believe in your desires, when you believe in something, it's literally like you taking this energy and sending it out. And then when you expect it, you're calling that back in. It's coming back into you. It's coming back around to you. It's here for you. So for me personally, that's really helped. And for me, what I've found like to be my groove in this is like expectation for me. Like I can say like, oh, I expect the sun to come out tomorrow. But for me, what really feels more comfortable and more core and more like discerning for me is like, I know the sun's coming out tomorrow. And if I can get that same feeling in my body of like, I know the sun's coming out tomorrow, to like, I know my money's coming in. I know that like I've got this job. I know that I'm getting this apartment. I know that I'm getting this car. I know that I'm getting this house. Like whatever it is, when I can have that same feeling match and feel that in my body consistently day in and day out until it comes in, that's what it is. So the first step is to decide what you want and to figure out like why you want it. You only need those two things. It's what you want and it's why you want it. It's okay for you to desire what it is that you want and to step into that and to harness that and to hone that, because I know too sometimes that can even be a step in and of itself to actually say like, oh crap, like I actually really want this. And like there might be feelings of guilt or shame there. That's okay. You're good. You're good. You don't have to, I mean, if it does resonate with you, you can dig into it and do like shadow work with it. Shadow work, however that resonates, looking at it and stuff and digging deeper into it to find out like maybe if there's a pattern or something. I personally have found that to not be helpful for me, because from an energy perspective, just as I see energy in the same way that I connect with other beings of unconditional love and light, just for me and my personal life experience, I'm being very, very honest here, I've noticed that like if I focus on shadow work and keep going in and in and in and in to something that I don't feel good about, it only creates and literally like draws more of that same energy to me. And then it's like sometimes that in and of itself actually creates more resistance and creates more of a loophole. And it's, for me, it has been harder to pull myself out of those points at different times in my life. Whereas like if I just sit with where I'm at, notice what feelings are there, really acknowledge them, not be naive to them, but really acknowledge like, oh, like I notice that like I'm experiencing feelings of shame or feelings of guilt, and I'm maybe even noticing like the pattern of where they actually came from and stemmed from in my life, then I will literally allow myself to have that breakdown or allow myself to cry, like really cry, because that's part of it. Sometimes that needs to happen in order for you to rebalance and restabilize chemically, physically, energetically, so that you're able to go to the next step in the process. And that's okay. It's got to be okay. Like where you're at, where you're feeling has to be okay. And it is okay. Like Like, it's all good. Something that I've personally like done with myself is I've told myself in those moments, like, I'm good. I'm good. Like, it's okay. It's okay that like these different feelings are here. It's okay that I've felt like these different ways, whether it's, you know, anger, shame, disappointment, just like lowness or sadness or stagnancy. Like, it's okay. It's okay, because I am acknowledging it right here, right now. And because this is something that I don't want, it also is showing me what I really, really do want and what I really care about. And the idea is to acknowledge that, to really like give real acknowledgement to that, give real acknowledgement to yourself, you know, do whatever it is that you need to do to allow yourself to feel better in that moment, and then focus your energy and your attention into what it is that you're really, really wanting. You need to regulate that energy. I see energy as emotions personally. So you need to like take whatever energy that is, if it's sadness, allow it to regulate, allow it to process in healthy and dynamic ways. That could look like crying for the rest of the night. That could look like, I literally had a night where I called up my best friend and I was like in it and I was just crying, and my best friend's like, oh my gosh, like what's going on? I said, I finally found out what was causing physical discomfort in my body, and it was patterns of shame and guilt. And as soon as I acknowledged that, I was so hyper aware of it that like anytime that anything of that would come up, I would just say, okay, well, I'm just appreciative that like I know of it, and that I know like I can choose different from it. And when I say I can choose different from it, I mean that any situations previously that would have caused those feelings, or that would have previously impacted me, because I was so aware of it, I was like, I don't need to be impacted by this. Like, it's okay for me to be where I am. It's okay for me to decide whatever it is I want to do in this moment, to take this moment for myself, to take this breath for myself, to step in a stride of love for myself. It's okay for me to feel good about whatever it is in the moment, right? It's okay for me to feel wholesome. It's okay for me to remember my connection to Creator, to Source, to Universe, to the God self, right? I hope that makes sense. But that would be step number one, is like, after you figure out what you desire and why you want it, you have to be really honest with how you feel. Sometimes it's not going to be pretty. Sometimes it's not going to be what you expected. But I promise you, every single time that you come out on the other end of that, and that you show yourself that you're capable, you're capable of literally creating your life and like just allowing yourself to receive what it is that you really want. Every single time, it's worth it. You show yourself that and you're like, wow, like I feel so empowered. I feel like I'm good. Like I got this. And it feels good if you can have like a friend by your side too that's doing this with you. Like me and my best friend literally jam, well, we talk like pretty consistently, like almost every single day, but we literally jam on this stuff like day in and day out, and just say like, hey, like, how's it going? How's the meditations going? We're both doing Joe Dispenza meditations every single day for the whole month of January now. But we just talk and share about like what we're experiencing, what's coming up for us, what types of feelings that we're noticing, what kind of thoughts are there, and like being really real and honest about it. Because there's, like I said, like there's times where like you may go through it, you may need to like call up someone, or you may need to actually express that emotion in a way that's healthy, vital, good for you to express that, so that that emotion, when it comes through, it can be released and expressed in physical reality in a healthy way. And then there's gonna be times too where you're just like super joyful and super giddy, and you can call up that friend too, or express that however you want to. Like maybe you just need to like put on some music and just start dancing in your living room or your kitchen or something, or anything, right? Go for a drive, listen to music, and just scream because you're so happy. There's like a whole spectrum of emotions. But yeah, I do want to say that like it's defining what it is you want, why you want it, noticing where you are emotionally about it, about what it is that you want. And then what I personally do from there that I've noticed has really helped me is, and this is why I say manifestation is intuitive for me, because every situation's different. But sometimes if I'm feeling called to it, and guys, this is like key for me, I only ever follow my calling. So I know, because my life experience has shown me, I can ask for something once and have it come into my reality. And it has happened for me pretty quick. I manifested money in one day from talking with another friend about just conscious creation and just saying like it can be easy. It really can be easy for us. We just haven't really had a lot of like examples. I mean, this is like a couple of years ago. Like now we're having more and more examples, which is exciting. But I remember telling this friend like, yeah, like it can be easy. My friend's like, yeah, right. Can you manifest money? And I was like, yeah, I'll try it out. Like, thank you for bringing this up. And then my friend ended up going back to his place, and then I literally just followed the calling, followed like my heart's feeling, the best feeling in the moment. And I ended up going to this park, sitting down. I was actually seeing like white light energy around this tree, and I was like, I'm gonna follow the white light energy. So I sat down at this tree, pulled out my book. When I got up from the grass, the specific spot that I picked, this tree, I looked down and I could see a dime on the grass, and I just started laughing and got super giddy and excited. I sent a picture to him and I was like, yeah, it can be easy. And then it was amazing. That was so fun. That was just so awesome. Yeah, so it's really intuitive. So like I never force anything anymore, because that causes a lot of resistance. I've noticed for me it's caused a lot of resistance. So I usually just go with like what I'm feeling called to. If I ever feel called to take out my journal and start writing, whether it's about it or not about it, I will do that. If I feel called to like go on a walk, put in headphones and just like think about it in ways that feel good for me, then I will do that. If I feel called to even like just ask for it once and put it aside and just get happy for other things in my life, I'll do that. It really depends on like what I'm actually feeling in the moment, but I would say always follow what feels best for you. And then I want to follow that up with, if you're really, if it's something that's like kind of more immediate in your life, where it's like, say if it's physical well-being, something to do with your physical health, or something to do with I feel like anything like in terms to do with like body, or in terms to do with money, because those are kind of more everyday things that we all have to focus on. What I have personally found to be really helpful for me from experience is to literally ignore 3D reality, not in a naive sense. Okay, it's the same thing. It's like I would like acknowledge like, okay, like, you know, that is what's happening and that sucks, or allow the emotions, like allow myself to cry however many times I need to cry about it. But then I would say, okay, like I see that, I understand that. However, this has literally caused me to really, really, really want this money, or really, really, really want to feel better in my body, or really, really, really want to fill in the blank, whatever it is for you. And then because you have that desire, like what I've done is literally only looked at that, only thought about that, and literally raised the vibration of my belief system to match that state, so that I'm actually living in that, thus magnetizing that into my life. What I would do is just take the best feeling thought about where I was at any given moment. So say like with money, yeah, like for me, like with money, I would just like look at my situation, acknowledge like, okay, it sucks because da 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 da. And then when it's negative and specific, what you want to do is get it like negative in general. So negative and specific would look like, it sucks because Larry has more money than me. It sucks because I don't have a job. It sucks because my bank account's reading negative 700. It sucks because like you can name off all these different reasons. You want to get yourself to a state next where you're feeling like, okay, like, yeah, there's the reasons, but it just sucks. And you're not focused on those specifics. That's when you know you're raising your vibration. Then if you can get to that state, which you can, then you can go into the next state of like, okay, well, you know, like the earth is still spinning and like my body is still breathing. I still have breath in my body. Like my body's working. Like my family's doing really well. Like everyone's good. Everyone's well. Everyone's, you know, whatever it is that you can focus on in your reality, anything, even if it's a cat, even if it's looking outside, noticing the sun, even if it's going down by the waters and noticing that the water's still flowing, that's general and positive. So if you can get general and positive, then you know you're acclimating your belief system. And then if you can go from positive to specific, that's when you got more momentum going and you're actually acclimating it. But you got to be really real with where it is, with how you're feeling. And then you got to say, okay, what's the best feeling? Like literally, ask yourself this right now. Take this moment for yourself and ask yourself, what is the best feeling thought for me right now? What is the best feeling thought for me right now? What's the best feeling thought I have access to right now? Focus on what it is that you want and just allow it to come in. It's got to be, and this is how you connect. This is literally how you connect mind into body, and how that creates, Abraham Hicks said this, it literally creates a chemical. Because your higher self has a chemical and then you have a chemical, and when those harmonize together, it literally creates chemicals in your body. I don't know if science is proving this yet. I'm really hoping that Joe Dispenza's work comes to this. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. I just like, I don't know, I think it's so cool. I think it's so cool. But what is the best feeling thought you have access to right now about what it is that you want? And maybe like, say for example, maybe it's about money. Maybe you could say like, maybe you're looking at your bank account and like, yeah, like you see negative 700 there, but then you see like $0, or well, you see negative 700 and you're like, huh, it's gonna feel really good when I actually do start getting money. I'm actually looking forward to money. It's gonna feel nice when I get that down to negative 600, negative 500, up to 0, then up into the positives. There's actually a lot of opportunity out there. There's work from home jobs, there's jobs everywhere. And I don't have to get a job in order to feel better right now. I can focus on so many other things to feel better. I'm really grateful for this. And then this could be like, I'm really grateful that my body's doing well. I'm really grateful that I've got loved ones to call. I'm really, really grateful that I've got a journal to write in. I'm grateful that I can plug in my favorite music and just listen to that. And it's literally like, you take what it is and you raise the vibration of it to feeling better, so that next time when you look at money, when you think of money, when you like, it doesn't have to be money, it can be anything, but whatever the subject is, when you look at that, when you think about it in your day, you're feeling better about it. You're noticing like your body's not like shriveling up or going into like fear mode or anything, but you're actually feeling ease around it. You're feeling softer about it. That's when you really start to raise the frequency of your belief system, is what the information that I've been given. And that's when you start to really play in different realities. They're actually showing me, what is that? Like when people do the wall climbing, you know what I'm talking about? Like you like climb on the walls. That's when you just start making those steps into the different states of consciousness and the different states of being that will help you magnetize that reality to you. And it's really, really important. The other message that they're giving me right now is like, it's gotta come from your heart. That's like, that's your discernment and that's your integrity. Your heart's gonna tell you every single time how you feel on your inner world inside of you. Inside of your heart will tell you every single time where your belief system is. And it's okay. We're doing okay. We're all doing good in this. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. It's really about finding the best feeling thought. And then when you get to a state of like eventually you get to a state where you're like, oh my God, like I think I can actually do this. Like I'm actually feeling better about it. And it's like, it doesn't matter what's going on in 3D reality. Like we've acknowledged that, we've felt that, we've processed that, we've emotionally regulated, energy regulated through that. We've accepted that, we've come to peace with that. And now it's like, yeah, that's there. I'm going here. I am going here. I am going here. I am doing this. And you put all your focus and your energy into that, and all your thoughts line up into that, your actions line up into that, everything. And it's this feeling of just, I want to say like insurmountable. I have to look up that word after. That's the word that's coming to me. But insurmountable trust and faith and like, yep, I'm going in this. I'm supported in this. I'm doing this. Watch me do it. I'm going to do it. It's almost like that very like sure and clear energy. Any of you who've played sports competitively may know this like same feeling too, of just going in through something and just like really committing to it and feeling that like aliveness, feeling like that connection, and that like, it's like you're in beast mode, you're in game mode. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm going in. And then what you do from there is, once you get your belief system acclimated to thoughts and feelings that feel really good for you, and you can look at this thing that you're desiring, what you're manifesting, you can look at it in terms of a relationship. And if you can get yourself to a point of like, oh, you know, like this thing that I want, like we're best friends, you know, me and my physical body are best friends. Like these are my 10 favorite things about my physical body. Me and money, we're best friends. These are my 10 favorite things about money, and this is how I feel. This is how I really, really feel about money. And write it out as much as you can. Everything that you honestly feel that feels good and aligned with what it is that you want, write it out, speak it, journal about it, listen to music, and just like think about it in ways that feel good for you. Look back at all of the times in your life where your life has demonstrated to you that different things have been working out, because different vibrations will literally activate within you energetically. So you don't even have to be focused on money, but because money is tied into abundance, you could literally walk outside and notice the abundance of, say, grass, for example, how many blades of grass there are. That's a feeling of abundance. That same vibration is the same vibration of financial abundance. Once you activate that within you and keep that state consistently, you're literally in alignment with that too. And it will, by law, it will come in by universal law. You just have to like day in and day out, every single time. It's not forcing it, but it's like whenever your mind goes to looking at your bank account or looking at what you want in your life, calling that in, manifesting that fully, creating that reality for yourself, whatever it is, whenever you're thinking about it, whenever you're speaking about it, whenever you're feeling about it, it's feeling the best way about it that you possibly can. If you can get yourself to a point of feeling joyful with it and feeling appreciation of it, even like when I was manifesting money, I got to the point where like day in and day out, I would just say thank you to everything. I would say like, thank you to this $2 that I have. Thank you to this 5 cents that came in. Thank you to this $10 that I have. Thank you to this $250 that's coming in for me. You know, I'm really thankful for this, and I really appreciate this, and I'm looking forward to more money, and I'm so excited about the money that I have right now. Like it feels so good, and I just like give my thanks to that, and I'm just in appreciation about it. You can get that and like keep that moving consistently day in and day out. That's it. And it will come. It will come. You just got to keep that consistency of you living in that state. And that's how you acclimate your belief system to the state that you're creating, that you're aligning to, that you're a match to. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope that made so much sense. If anything really resonated for you, feel free to leave it in the comments below. If you have any questions for me that you want to jam on, or maybe I can like offer like real personal life experience, leave it in the comments too. Thank you so much for being here. This is such a beautiful, beautiful time to be experiencing life on this wonderful planet, and I'm just so appreciative to be here with you. I want to say Niawagoa, which means thank you. It's like a rich thankfulness to you, all that you are in this moment, all that you've lived, all that you've come to be in this moment. you, your parents, your lineage, all of who you are. Niawagoa. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next video. Bye, friends.